So now,
Bye!
get out of the car.
I said no!
Are you okay with her taking it to the office?
Are you done here?
Are you okay with taking it to the office?
Here?
No, I'm not.
Then
Yes or no?
I'm not answering your questions.
What do you have that you could take on you right now?
I'm not taking anything on me. I'm waiting for you to leave me
then
alone.
get out of the car.
I am out of the car.
Get completely out of the way so she can leave.
No.
And I'm gonna walk over here, get what stuff you need.
I don't care what you need to walk over and do.
You want
walk
me to do
over
that?
and do so.
Okay. I'm gonna walk away for now, but when I come back,
I don't care.
when I come
Get
back,
out. Don't stand to me. Get the away.
Don't put your fucking hand in my
Get the
face. I'm gonna tell you right now. Don't touch me and don't put your hand in my face.
I'm touching you.
I'm telling you right now, don't put your hand in my face. Alright?
The f is it at, G? Where's the f at?
Okay. So now,
Bye!
get out of the car. Get out of the car. I told you, don't get in the car. Now.
No, I want to request emergency! My head! Stop! Can I please talk to him?
Yeah, I'll bring her over here.
Can I please talk to Alicia? It's so bad! Can I please talk to him? I'll stop fighting, but can I please just...
Yeah, you'll talk to her in a minute.
Can you please...
Don't put your legs in.
No, can you please also request for my head? I have trauma to my head!
Move your foot.
No! I just want to talk to my head!
Do not.
No!
Put your foot in.
Can you please tell me what's actually going on?
No, I'm not going to do that until you put your foot in.
Huh?
Put your foot in.
I don't want to get out of the car.
Ma'am.
Told her to get out. She's 18. So I gave her a lot.
No, not when you're acting like this.
Didn't want
You're
to
acting
move.
ridiculous. Put your foot in.
I'm acting ridiculous!
I got resisting now.
I'm going to give you one last opportunity.
Can you actually tell me what's going on?
Not until you comply with the income.
No, bullshit!
Don't grab me.
I literally just want to talk to my caseworker. You need to stop! Can I please stop? I can't breathe when you do that. Please just... Can you please just stop?
It's on the side.
It's fine, I'll stop.
It's gonna. She's gonna put her in mine, so you don't put the bottom.
Well, it needs to be buckled up. It needs to be loosened up.
I'll stop resisting, okay?
Too much slack.
I'll stop. What the f***? Please! This isn't right! This isn't right! This isn't right! Please stop!
Hey, hey, act like a grown adult. Act like a grown adult and stop screaming. and I'll let her come to the window so you could talk to her. You understand? Do you understand? Calm yourself. Stop yelling. Act like an adult, and I'll bring her over here. No, you're not. You're still screaming. I will bring her over here if you just calm down and act like an adult.
Is she gonna meet us there?
No, ma'am.
Why not? Why can't she meet me there?
Because you're going to jail.
Why can't she meet me there?
Because you're going to jail, ma'am. You're an adult and you're going to
No,
jail.
I'm going to the hospital.
Yeah, but you're going to go to jail right after.
Why isn't she allowed to go with me?
Because you're an adult and you don't need somebody to go with you.
I don't care what I am. She's allowed.
No, she's not. You're in my care now.
I'm not in your care.
Yeah, you are.
Because you want me to be in your freak.
You're in my custody. You're in my
And you
custody.
assaulted me.
You're in my custody now.
You had no right to.
Give you every chance.
Charges against you.
You-
You're gonna stop.
You can.
You monster.
That is your right.
You wasn't allowed to grab me and you knew it.
Yes, I can. You're not allowed in that car. That's not your car.
This ain't your car.
Your actions will cause this.
You.
Your actions are what caused this.
You doesn't get to put his hands on me. No. No. It's not right. It's not right. It's not right. I'm trying to keep my fucking cool. I really am. What the f*** did y'all want?
Should chill out.
What was the point of it?
You were listening to my partner.
Your partner?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Did you see all that has happened before you got there? No, you haven't. You haven't. So, like,
You can talk to him.
I don't want him near me. I don't want him around. He doesn't need to be around me.
Do you need some water?
No, I need you to leave me alone.
You're in my custody.
I don't care. I don't need you to talk to me or anything. Just leave me alone.
Don't talk then.
I can talk if I want to.
Alright.
I don't need you around. I don't need you to be get the back the up. That's not alright. I don't give a who's custody of me.
Alright.
Get the away. I don't know nothing to say it to you. Get the away. Yeah, I'm like a child.
You're the one who's screaming in the hospital.
I don't give a
I know
You're the one acting like a 5-year-old.
I got you.
You're the one that's been doing all of this bullshit.
Yes, ma'am.
Bye. Back up, fool.
What are you doing?
I'm scooting up. That's all I did.
No, because you got off last time.
No,
I'm not doing this.
Okay, I don't want him near me. That's literally
I'm gonna
it.
cuff you to the bench. Or I'm gonna cuff you to the bed. Sorry.
Okay, I don't care. I don't want him near me.
Is it okay if I can take pictures of you?
No, it's not okay. Go away.
It's just for the use of force.
No, I said no.
Well, I'm doing it.
Get the away. This is what I said no. I said no. That's not right. You don't get to do that.
Turn your head that way. You're not gonna be spitting on
No, you don't get to do that. You don't get to fucking do that.
got it.
I don't care. That wasn't right. That wasn't right. No. Please.
Come on.
That is not wrong. No. It's not. It's not what the fuck it is. You're scaring me. You're scaring me. No. No. Please. Please stop.
What's that?
What's she on?
I don't know, but it's for her to have
What are we
this.
gonna do at the jail at our place?
I know.
Why don't we just take her straight there? She keeps acting like this. I don't want to leave her in this.
Yeah.
In this forever. So I like to get her, if possible, straight to the DC. If you want to take her straight to the DC and do the paperwork there, I'm good with that too.
Okay.
Please! I need to be seen by the hospital! No! Brian! No! I want to talk to the doctor!
You already had that
I want to
chance.
talk to the... You can't do this! You're in the wrong! You're in the wrong! I was allowed to talk to the hospital! Why was I not allowed to talk to them? Why do you do this? Why do you think it's okay? Why do you feel like you're entitled? I want to
actually just discharged from the hospital.
You did not even let me talk to them!
They checked you out. What do you mean?
They didn't even check my head!
They checked all of you. You didn't want to
They
comply.
did. Little,
You're going to the jail.
why do you think this is okay? What did I do to you? Huh? I want to press charges. I don't want to go to the hospital for medical attention. I have a right to request that. Ah! Get away from me! Get away from me! Get away from me!
We didn't get a chance to search her because we had to put her in this right away, so you guys know.
Please get him away from me! Stop! Get him away!
October 4th, 2023, at a hotel property, officers respond to a request for assistance involving a female who is refusing to exit a vehicle. Police are dispatched after a caseworker reports that a woman will not leave her vehicle and is refusing to cooperate. The situation develops after the caseworker explains that she had been assisting the woman earlier in the day by transporting her around town to complete errands. According to the caseworker, the woman stated she planned to stay with a friend at a hotel, so the caseworker transported her there with her belongings. Upon arrival at the hotel, the woman attempted to contact the friend she claimed she would be staying with. Initially, the friend did not respond. After eventually making contact, the friend stated that he was approximately 2 hours away. The caseworker explained that she offered the woman two options. She could either stay at the hotel with her belongings while waiting, or the caseworker could take her to another location, such as McDonald's, to wait. The woman declined both options. The caseworker then stated that the woman contacted the friend again, at which point the friend said he was no longer staying at that hotel and had decided to go somewhere else. At that point, the caseworker told the woman she needed to begin contacting friends or family to arrange a place to stay. The caseworker explained that placement services were no longer available because the woman was over the age limit. The woman reportedly stated that she had no one to call. The caseworker explained that she did not know what else to do and told the woman she needed to decide where she wanted to go. The woman allegedly responded by telling the caseworker to just drive, without providing a destination. When asked where she wanted to be taken, the woman asked to be driven back to the office. The caseworker explained that she could not take her back to the office because the woman was over 18. The caseworker further explains to the responding officer that the woman had no money at the time. According to the caseworker, the woman had received money the previous Friday, which she cashed, but claimed that someone later stole it. The woman allegedly stayed at one hotel on Friday and then with a friend afterward. The caseworker also mentions that the woman had been arrested on a previous date for an outstanding warrant and battery on an officer. The responding officer acknowledges familiarity with the woman. The caseworker explains that the woman claims she had previously been trespassed from a location, but said she was never given documentation. The caseworker says she had transported the woman back to retrieve her belongings from that location, and that the woman was blaming the theft of her money on people there. The caseworker contacts her supervisor and explains the situation. She states that she cannot stay with the woman overnight and needs assistance getting her out of the vehicle so she can leave. The caseworker tells the officer that she has already gone beyond her obligations by transporting the woman around town. The officer approaches the vehicle and attempts to speak with the woman. He tells her that she needs to exit the vehicle. The woman responds by telling him to get away from her and repeatedly refuses to comply. The officer instructs her to unbuckle her seatbelt and exit the car. The woman refuses and states she already asked to be taken back to the office. The officer asks the woman how old she is. She refuses to answer. The officer states that he knows who she is and references a prior arrest. The woman denies the officer's statements and says he does not know her. The officer again asks for her age and name. She refuses, stating that it does not matter. The officer explains that he has a lawful reason to identify her because she is refusing to exit a state vehicle, and he was requested by the caseworker to assist. The woman tells him to back away and respect her space. The officer tells her she is not in charge of the situation and again instructs her to unbuckle and exit the vehicle. The woman states that she is trying to get out but continues to argue. The officer tells her that she will exit the vehicle one way or another. He repeatedly instructs her to unbuckle her seatbelt and gather her belongings. The woman tells the officer to leave her alone and demands to speak with her caseworker without police involvement. The officer explains that the caseworker called for assistance and does not want the woman in the vehicle. The woman insists that she will not get her belongings or exit the car until she speaks with the caseworker without the officer present. The officer tells her that is not going to happen and that she must exit the vehicle. As the exchange continues, the woman raises her voice and accuses the officer of violating her rights. The officer repeatedly tells her to get out of the vehicle and step away so the caseworker can leave. The woman continues refusing and states she does not feel comfortable exiting the vehicle while the officer is present. The officer warns her that her refusal could lead to further consequences. He tells her that yelling and shouting can result in additional charges. The woman responds that she is not doing anything wrong and continues refusing to comply. The officer tells her she is being given one final chance to exit the vehicle. The woman remains uncooperative and continues arguing. The officer tells her he will physically remove her if she does not comply. She insists she has already exited the vehicle multiple times and demands the officer move away so she can close the door. The officer tells her she must fully exit and step away from the vehicle. The caseworker is asked directly if she wants the woman out of the car. She confirms that she does. The officer relays this information to the woman and again instructs her to exit. The woman finally steps out of the vehicle but refuses to move away, remaining close to the car and continuing to argue. The officer tells her to gather her belongings and move away from the vehicle so the caseworker can leave. The woman refuses, stating she is waiting for the officer to leave first. The officer tells her that is not going to happen. As the situation continues, the woman attempts to re-enter the vehicle despite being told not to. The officer immediately instructs her to stop and exit the car. The woman resists, leading the officer to move in closer to prevent her from re-entering. The verbal confrontation escalates further as the woman continues refusing commands and shouting, while the officer repeatedly orders her to exit and move away from the vehicle. The officer continues issuing clear commands for the woman to step away from the vehicle. She remains near the open door and continues arguing, repeatedly stating that she wants to speak with her caseworker without police involvement. The officer explains that the caseworker has already requested assistance and does not want her inside the vehicle. He tells her again that she needs to collect her belongings and move away so the caseworker can leave. The woman raises her voice and tells the officer to leave her alone. She states that she does not feel comfortable exiting fully while the officer is present. The officer responds that he is there specifically because she refused to exit the vehicle and that the situation will not be resolved until she complies. He tells her that remaining near the car and continuing to argue is preventing the caseworker from leaving. The woman continues refusing to move and repeatedly states that she is already out of the vehicle. The officer tells her that stepping partially out is not sufficient and that she must completely clear the vehicle. He warns her that if she does not comply, he will take further action to physically remove her from the area. The woman again attempts to re-enter the vehicle. The officer immediately intervenes, telling her she is not allowed back inside. He instructs her to step away from the door. She refuses and continues shouting, accusing the officer of threatening her. The officer responds that he has given her multiple opportunities to comply voluntarily. As the situation escalates, the woman continues yelling and makes repeated statements asserting that she has rights and that the officer is not entitled to order her around. The officer advises her that continued yelling and refusal to follow lawful commands can result in additional charges. She responds by stating she is not doing anything wrong and continues to resist moving away from the car. The officer attempts to create space by stepping back, again instructing her to gather her belongings and move away. The woman remains close to the vehicle and tells the officer she will not move until he leaves. The officer makes it clear that he is not leaving and that she must comply. The officer tells her she is being given one last chance to step away from the vehicle. The woman refuses. She continues arguing, raises her voice further, and gestures toward the vehicle. The officer tells her that her behavior is escalating the situation and that she is causing a disturbance. When she again attempts to get back into the vehicle, the officer moves in to block her access. He instructs her to stop and step away immediately. The woman refuses and continues struggling verbally. At this point, the officer informs her that she is now resisting and that her actions may lead to arrest. The woman continues shouting and refuses to comply with commands. The officer moves closer and attempts to guide her away from the vehicle. She resists his efforts and continues yelling. The officer tells her to calm down and act like an adult, explaining that continued resistance will worsen the situation. She continues screaming and refuses to calm down. The officer tells her that if she calms herself, he will allow her to speak with her caseworker. She does not comply and continues yelling. The officer repeats that her continued behavior is preventing any further conversation. As the struggle continues near the vehicle, the woman resists the officer's attempts to move her away. During the effort to place her into custody, she strikes her head while being positioned into the patrol vehicle. Officers immediately stop and assess the situation. Due to the head injury sustained during placement in the vehicle, officers request medical assistance. The woman continues screaming and resisting even after being secured. Officers inform her that she will be transported to the hospital for evaluation before any further action. While waiting for transport, the woman continues making loud statements and accusing officers of wrongdoing. Officers do not engage with the accusations and focus on ensuring she remains secured and safe. Emergency medical services transport the woman to the hospital. Officers accompany her and maintain custody during transport. Upon arrival, medical staff evaluated her due to the reported head injury. During the hospital encounter, the woman continues to resist verbally and refuses to cooperate with officers. She demands to speak with her caseworker and states that she should not be in custody. Officers inform her that she is under arrest and remains in their custody. Medical staff complete their evaluation and determine that she is medically cleared. The woman continues to object and states that she was not properly examined. Officers inform her that medical personnel have cleared her for transport. Following medical clearance, officers prepare to transport her to jail. She continues protesting and demands further medical attention. Officers explain that she has already been evaluated and cleared by hospital staff. As officers escort her out of the hospital, she continues to resist verbally and accuse officers of wrongdoing. Officers maintain control and proceed with the transport. After medical staff clear the woman for transport, officers resume custody and escort her from the hospital. She continues yelling as they move her toward the patrol vehicle. Officers instruct her to cooperate and explain that she is being transported to jail following the incident at the hotel and the events that occurred during the police response. As officers guide her, she continues to argue and demands to speak with her caseworker. Officers explain that she is an adult and does not require a caseworker to accompany her. She disputes this and insists that she should not be alone. Officers reiterate that she is in their custody and that the decision has already been made. The woman continues making verbal accusations as officers place her into the patrol vehicle. She resists positioning and continues yelling while officers attempt to secure her safely. Officers instruct her to sit back and comply so they can complete the transport. She continues protesting and moving, requiring officers to give repeated commands. Once secured in the vehicle, officers discuss the situation among themselves. They note that they were unable to complete a full search earlier due to the immediate need to transport her to the hospital following the head injury. Officers prepare to complete the remaining procedures once she arrives at the detention facility. During transport, the woman continues speaking loudly and making repeated statements about her treatment. Officers do not engage in extended conversation and focus on transporting her safely. Upon arrival at the detention facility, officers begin the intake process. The woman continues resisting verbally and refuses to calm down. Officers instruct her to comply with intake procedures and warn her that continued resistance may result in further action. Officers document that the woman struck her head earlier during the struggle and that she was medically cleared prior to booking. Jail staff are informed of the medical evaluation and clearance. As officers continue the transfer of custody, the woman continues yelling and accusing officers of wrongdoing. Officers maintain control and proceed with the booking process. She is removed from the patrol vehicle and escorted into the facility. During the intake process, officers and staff continue issuing commands for compliance. The woman remains verbally non-compliant but is eventually secured. Officers complete their paperwork related to the arrest and the transport. The arresting officer documents that the initial call involved a refusal to exit a vehicle at the request of a caseworker. The report reflects that the woman repeatedly refused lawful commands, attempted to re-enter the vehicle, and physically resisted during the effort to remove her from the area. The report also documents that during the resistance, the woman struck her head while being placed into the patrol vehicle, prompting immediate medical transport. Medical staff later cleared her for incarceration. Once custody is transferred to jail staff, officers conclude their involvement and return to service. Following the transfer of custody at the detention facility, officers complete their reports detailing the events from the initial call through the booking process. The documentation outlines that officers were dispatched to a hotel after a caseworker requested assistance with a female who refused to exit a state vehicle. The report notes that the woman was repeatedly instructed to leave the vehicle and step away so the caseworker could depart, and that she refused to comply with multiple clear commands. The report further documents that the woman repeatedly declined to provide identifying information when requested and continued to argue with officers on scene. Officers recorded that she attempted to re-enter the vehicle after being told to stay out and that her continued refusal to comply escalated the situation. According to the documentation, verbal commands were issued multiple times before any physical intervention occurred. Officers noted that during the effort to remove her from the immediate area and place her into a patrol vehicle, the woman resisted and struck her head. Due to this injury, officers suspended the transport to jail and requested medical evaluation. The report reflects that emergency medical personnel transported her to the hospital for assessment. Medical staff evaluated the woman and determined that she was medically cleared for incarceration. Officers documented that she continued to resist verbally while at the hospital and disputed the evaluation, but no further medical intervention was deemed necessary by hospital staff. After clearance, officers resumed custody and transported her to the detention facility. At the jail, officers completed the intake process and informed staff of the earlier medical evaluation. The woman continued to be verbally non-compliant during portions of the booking process, according to the report, but was ultimately secured without further injury. Officers completed all required paperwork and transferred custody to detention personnel. As a result of the incident, the woman was charged with concealing identity, resisting arrest, and battery on a peace officer. These charges were based on her refusal to comply with lawful commands, her physical resistance during the encounter, and the actions that occurred while officers were attempting to remove her from the vehicle and secure her. The case documentation reflects that the initial situation began as a request for assistance to remove an individual from a vehicle and escalated due to continued non-compliance. Officers noted that the caseworker had attempted to resolve the situation without law enforcement involvement before requesting assistance, and that officers provided multiple opportunities for voluntary compliance before taking enforcement action. No officers reported serious injuries related to the incident. The report notes that the use of force occurred during the effort to remove the woman from the vehicle and place her into custody, and that the force used was associated with overcoming active resistance. The incident was reviewed in accordance with departmental policy. The woman's medical transport, hospital clearance, and subsequent booking were all documented as part of the official record. Officers concluded their involvement after transferring custody at the jail and completing their reports. Any further legal proceedings related to the charges were to be handled through the court system. This body camera footage captures the progression of a police response that began with a refusal to exit a vehicle and continued through verbal escalation, physical resistance, medical evaluation, and arrest. The incident concludes with the woman medically cleared, booked into jail, and charged in connection with the events that occurred.